We have Team Kiki-Jiki's Delivery Service versus Team
Great
Mull to
name.
5.
Also good. Also a good name.
We are going to be following Trevor of Team Mull to 5's captain there. He's going to be the one in the top left there. We're going to be following his draft. He was giving me a little bit of insight into the team's process a little earlier about how they sat down, had a team meeting, and just laid out all of the uncommons, I believe he said, in front of them, and decided and sort of ranked and talked about their thoughts on all of them. Talked about how they are willing and able to pass rares that are perceived to be strong over commons and uncommons that might appear like lower value, but that fit into their decks better. So, that's definitely an important place to be.
This team format has definitely felt really interesting because it's a matter of, would you rather be like a hyper consistent deck because this format revolves a lot around synergies between cards, or would you rather draft a more traditional team draft deck where you're like a 3-color kind of mid-range pile or whatever? But it's a tough format. There are some times where you see pretty powerful uncommons, but you just or rares, and you just take a card that just makes the synergy in your deck better.
We're doing some pack trading
pack
here.
Swapping here. Love it.
That could make all the difference right there.
I know. We'll see. All right, so let's
wishing good luck. Let me get rid of scoreboard there.
Cool. So let's see what happens in this pack 1. Horn of the Mark and the Fell Beast.
Horn of the Mark is not the good horn, right?
No, it is not the Horn of Gondor.
Dunlin Kerbane, notably.
Okay, so Fell Beast definitely feels like the best card in the pack. Fire Leaper is a pretty strong card in the aggro red-black decks. Yeah, I think
it's a pretty clear Fell Beast here.
I think another reason too is that there's a lot of I guess there's some black cards too. There's a lot of red cards in the pack too, so you might signal that there's red, it might be open down the line, but Fell Beast is the only. I mean, I guess Dunlin Kerbane's in the pack too, but I think you should just snap up this Fell Beast here.
Kerbane, likely a top 5 or top 3 common in the set.
For sure. And Trevor's also the match that he won or the deck that he played to get into the top 4 was black-white. And black is definitely, I think, arguably the strongest color in the set.
I would say inarguably,
yeah.
As a matter of fact.
And it's so not a bad place to start with one of the premier uncommons in that color. Okay, so let's see what gets past here.
Another unplayable rare, unfortunately.
There's a Landroval. Sheelam's Ambush, and Frodo.
Frodo is definitely a very powerful card in a not very powerful color combination.
Right. The Landroval, I think, is a pretty decent uncommon 3/4 flyer that you can make your things unblockable, essentially. So I would have to, maybe he's contemplating taking the Ambush because it's on color with his first pick.
It's pretty much the only other black playable.
Yeah.
In this pack, I would say.
I think if I were in this position, I would take the Landroval just because it's a powerful card, and white-black's a pretty strong archetype to begin with. I think it's between Frodo, Ambush, and Landroval here, but overall, a very weak pack.
How do you feel about Great Hall in 6-person pods?
I'm not a huge... Honestly, I'd rather just play a different colored basic over it. I don't think it's worth a slot. So,
yeah, I think it's tough to pick up Great Halls early and just try to make that thing. In a 6-person pod, you're not going to see as many of them overall.
Yeah,
and
I think
if you're in that sort of Legends deck, you're going to want at least 2 to 3.
It looks like he's stumbling between this Ambush and Landroval, so we'll see which one he ends up taking here.
Yeah.
Oh, and the surprise with the Frodo Baggins.
I know that Commissioner Alex would be
all
pleased to see that. Ooh, we've got a mythic 5-color rare that will probably wheel.
Oh, this is an interesting pack. So you have a Theoden, you have a Generous Ent, You have
Glorious Gale.
Yeah.
It's just the best blue card in the pack.
Yeah, you also just take this Easterling Vanguard and be happy with that, right? Just signal that black is just cut off.
I wouldn't be super thrilled about that, to be honest.
I wouldn't be thrilled. I think if I were in this position, I would take the generous end. But I think the Theoden's not a bad idea either. You could end up in like a Naya type deck potentially. I mean, it's so early that you can just be everything's open, nothing's off the table. Oh, okay, so we are. I mean,
I think
interesting. Okay,
I want to say, he was talking about being a 17 lands user. I would wager a guess that Glorious Gale has the highest game in hand percentage, and so Trevor were just looking to keep his options completely open.
I guess so.
Taking what he perceives as the best card in the pack.
Like, do you think maybe he's wants to aim to be like a blue-black deck potentially, or just kind of still keep open pretty much?
I think he's probably not aiming to be anything here, just trying to stay
I
completely
really
open.
like Rise of the Witch King, especially when you have a Fell Beast already.
Definitely a powerful card.
Like, I think this format's so interesting and it's very difficult because any number of these cards I feel like could be a correct pick, but they're all like small percentages away from each other.
Shire Sheriff, definitely a powerful white removal.
I mean, he took a Frodo, right? Like,
yeah.
I mean, we've talked about this before, but in Team Draft, anything that just has ring tempt on it is very powerful too.
Absolutely.
But I love Rise of the Witch King. If you can pick up Cyclers or like your Fell Beast dies and you get it back.
Pretty important. If you pick up Rise, you're going to want a good 2 to 4 of the creature land cyclers, specifically non-blue.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely. All right. So we take Rise there.
There's another Great Hall.
There's a Swarming of Moria. A Woe's Pathfinder. Like, it's the last card is at the 2/1, I think, the elf that becomes unlockable when you scry.
I definitely don't mind Woe's Pathfinder for where he's at.
I think Woe's is just a great place to be in Team Draft too. If you're a base green deck, because then you can just, if you like, open a rare you can splash for, or a really good removal spell.
It's just a not very exciting pack in general either.
Yeah. So
We've got
Isolation or thing.
Got a Trevor fan in the chat here. Super Conky Boy. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for joining. This is a kind of pretty weak pack. I don't even know what I would take out of this.
Dreadful as the Storm.
Black Breath is like, it's okay. There are a lot of X ones in the format, but I don't know if I'm.
His strongest cards so far are green and black, I would say.
I wouldn't mind taking like Dreadful or. I think maybe, I don't know, maybe. It's tough.
Yeah, definitely not a clear, easy pick here.
I mean, Isolation or I think is totally fine. Yeah, so far Trevor's been pretty open in his picks. He's a Frodo. He has a Voracious Fell Beast.
Rise of the Witch King. Woe's Pathfinder was the last pick.
Yeah.
So definitely open to being a green, splashy kind of thing. I was going to say Woe's is a great pairing with the Rise of the Witch King because it ramps you into 4 and gives you something to sacrifice.
Well, you can also you can if you get a Cycler, you can set up the turn 4 Rise on the play. Play a 5/7 on turn 4 or on turn 3. Sorry,
and make them sack something. Yeah.
Yeah, you could like make them sack their best play and then turn 3 play a 5/7 or a 6/5 or whatever. Like that's like the best case scenario, but it's not impossible.
Yeah, definitely agonizing over this one a little bit.
I feel like there's a lot of cards you could just take here that are fine, but it's always like which one's the right choice, you know?
There's also just like an Isolation at Orthanc here. It's like a solid interaction spell.
I think Black Breath is actually not the worst idea if you're setting yourself up to not be the red-white deck or like an aggro white deck.
Definitely, yeah. Lots of things that it lines up well against.
Lots of just random X ones in the format. Okay. All right.
That's what he
Maybe
does.
Trevor's listening.
Maybe, if all else fails, send the black is cut signal.
Yeah. So this is the original pack, right? I mean, I don't
Yes,
mind
this is the wheel.
I don't mind the snarling look. I think that card is not too bad, but
That's fine. It's also not super exciting.
Oh, this is our league match. Oh, can't jump into the league match.
no.
How do you, how does one join a league? Has to be set.
It's the thumb.
Yeah, you're good. Okay, so I really like taking envelope here to kind of stay open on Rampy and having access to all your colors.
Great Hall sort of does the same thing.
I like that the envelope just puts tempt when you have Frodo too. Like I think once you have if you're interested in playing the Frodo, like getting as much ring temp in your deck as possible is a good place to be.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. And again, it's like I don't know if I think the decision point here will be: do we become right now at least? Is it do we become more of a Sultai deck or more of a Abzan mid-range kind of deck? So I think taking the envelope just keeps you very open to whatever. I mean, Guardian's a fine choice too. I think.
Looks like the pick will be a piece of fixing, one way or the other.
I would think so. But I think I would lean on the card that ring temps when you have Frodo.
I'm gonna go focus this camera a little bit.
Sure. So we'll see what Trevor picks up here. Definitely has not been an easy seat to navigate. It's been I think it's been pretty interesting for what is actually open so far. There we go. Thank you, Ryan, for adjusting. But I think what we're going to take here is envelope. We'll see.
Trevor's definitely one of the more methodical drafters that I played against this season.
Yes.
I would say.
Strong player. Definitely thinks a lot about these decisions. I mean, they're very, again, like this format is about, I think, very small decisions that end up culminating to larger successes, I guess. So, but I think I would just take the envelope and keeps you the most open in this position.
I honestly don't hate the Mirror Guardian.
I don't hate it either. Okay, and that's where we're going. All right, call it.
Look at me.
Oh, that end wheeled. Yeah.
That
Yes.
is a pretty big signal.
Yeah, I mean that's perfect with the. Again, that can set up a turn 3 5/7 on the play.
That is an extremely powerful card on its own.
There's a bag end porter here. I like Stalwarts of Osgiliath, especially when you have Frodo, but I won't.
I like taking a green card there. It just seems like.
Oh, it's the same exact situation again.
Yeah, I might have gone with the spider there just for
Some
curve
diversity.
consideration.
I think here,
And it's also something to sack to Rise of the Witch King.
here do you like Shadow Arrows? I think just keeping open on removal is good.
Mm-hmm.
And then Captain of the Umbar, I think.
Pretty much.
I think Captain's where you want to be. Rising of the Day, I think, doesn't do enough. Even especially in team, that card's not going to do enough, I think.
Yeah.
But we're definitely set up here for some sort of either green.
I think we're going to try to be green-black as hard as possible here.
Yeah.
And consider
Potentially splashing.
splashing a little bit out.
I think that if we were going to splash, maybe like we would want to take the envelope, but you have Pathfinder too, so a source of fixing.
We're gonna take,
Take
the
the land
full
over
art
the-
land over the rare.
Yeah. Frodo's.
Frodo's father. Are you a huge fan of Trevor, LA Limited, or the Frodo Baggins that Trevor is holding
Either. Maybe all three.
from his Pack 1 pick 2, I believe?
I believe so, yeah. I mean, like, I think Trevor could set himself up to be a pretty good, like, green-black beaters deck. He has double bag and porter, but it's nice to have pick up the Black Breath and Mirror Guardian because you can make your creatures legendary, which will pump the porters.
Bag and Porter is a totally fine but replaceable 4-drop, but it can definitely be a threat on a lot
I
of
think
boards.
what's powerful about that card in Team Draft is just like, you know, your opponent could be trying to put together whatever synergy they're trying to do, but playing a 4/4 on 4 in this format, or even on 3 with the Pathfinder, is still a very powerful thing you can do. Like, sometimes you can just play a 4. Like, a 4/4 is a good rate in this set, too. I think in this set you have you have creatures that are a little weaker in stats, but they get bonuses based on synergy. So just a 4/4 that you slam down can sometimes just be like game ending.
Absolutely.
All right, we're gonna head into Pack 2 over here.
Frodo's father. We are no longer requiring human sacrifice for league entry, so
Yeah, a couple interesting
do
choices.
not even
so
worry
far.
about that.
So we opened a.
Delighted Halfling, of course, stands out.
There's a
little bit
Parting
here.
Took and a Lash of the Balrog. I think that's a pretty tough pick.
I think the Halfling stands out.
The Halfling
to me
definitely has like the
pretty highly, yeah.
highest like ceiling of things that can go right for it, right? I mean, it's nice to have with Pathfinder because you can use it to pump for the Pathfinder second ability.
Absolutely.
But I think I'd be tempted to take Lash of the Balrog there too.
Again, once it's no longer useful, sack it to Rise of the Witch King as well.
That's true too. I mean, with
They
the
also
ma-
have several 4-drops.
I think with it with a Mana Dork too, you can now with Pathfinder, a Cycler, and a Mana Dork, we're in the realm of playing 16 lands. I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. All right. Is it Gimli?
Another Stone of Exile.
Another Rise of the Witch King. But our Rangers
and
of
a Rangers of Villain.
and a Troll. This is a very powerful pack.
Okay.
I don't know. That's tough. That's very tough.
Let's see how
I
he
think-
feels
I
about
mean, I feel like if you're in
passing
Trevor's spot,
Rangers.
yeah, do you pass the Rangers, or do you just slam second copy of Rise?
I would honestly be okay with trying to see if Rise wheels. Like we saw a generous wheel in Pack 1.
That's true too.
I would be okay with letting that go around the table I think. There's just other, like a Pathfinder would be a fine option for you here.
I think if you take the Rangers, you might first of all you might end up playing it.
Absolutely.
Second of all, you're going to hopefully wheel a card that makes your deck, right? That you're happy to have wheel.
That troll is obviously would be pretty nice for him as well. I'm sure.
Even the Woes Pathfinder would be nice, right? But I think I can respect either taking Rise or Rangers here. Rangers is definitely like the safer, more of a hate pick than like a pick for your deck. But you can still, he could still play that card in his
He
deck.
could still be Simic.
It's true too.
We did not really get any good black pass to us in Pack 1. So
Also, but like think about this: what happens if like you end up in like a Sultai deck, and the second Rose Pathfinder wheels out of this pack? Then it becomes a lot more feasible to play a card like that. And you get like a many partings.
I think it's very likely to wheel a good playable from this pack. So
I would think that the Pathfinder might be the one that does though, over like Troll or Rise. But I think Rise could definitely.
Rise could do it, I think. Yeah.
It's not an easy one.
Of course, we're not happy to pass a rally at the Hornburg either. That card can easily get in for
It's
6 to 10 damage.
Yeah, I mean, like, there's definitely
If it comes down on
there's definitely an aggro player at the table who's like picking up like good cards going around. All right, so those Rangers.
Okay, so Flame of Anor.
Theoden, and then go here.
Lots of these multicolor legends.
I don't mind taking the flame. Maybe I don't know. Like these cards aren't all that powerful.
Flame is not super exciting if you're not in blue, I would say, because you're less likely to have a wizard in play. But
do you think
just
it's
take
worth?
Rangers.
Do you think it's worth potentially against if there's like a blue-red player? I don't know. It's tough. What else is really in this pack? But there's no. He doesn't have any wizards either.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Flame is, good, but not super exciting if you're not getting the 2 modes out of it.
I really wish we had taken that envelope earlier.
At the same time, you're passing a rally, potentially passing a Theoden in this pack as well. There's definitely going to be a beatdown deck in the pod.
Ban.
What did he take there? I missed it.
Oh, I missed it too. Sorry, we are modding chat real fast. Is that our stream playing maybe?
Now I see a Lorien revealed. It looks like we might be getting into blue here in pack 2.
That's funny. All right, sorry. We had to solve
Some technical
a short
difficulties
crisis
here.
there.
Okay. So we do see a signpost here. Arwen and Dumiel, definitely a very powerful threat that
I don't know if
should be answered. And lots of blue. You see, this whole pack looks blue.
This one, I think it's weird because it's like, do you want to be the blue-green deck now and move into it? I think taking this is like the safer pick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I definitely don't mind that.
I think I like that a little bit more.
For sure. Looks like that was a peregrine on the wheel as well.
I don't know how much food we have for our token stuff. I know we have the Fell Beast.
But, what else are we interested in here?
Okay.
Not a very exciting pack.
No, I don't think so. Definitely a more conservative pick there.
Trevor giving us another look at what he's working with here.
A generous and a Fell Beast, I guess, to make food.
Yeah, we've definitely been.
He is showing us.
He caught that blue signal
Mm-hmm.
from the pick 2 Rangers, and has been getting into the
Oh, okay.
much maligned.
Well, we call
deck.
it there the Pathfinder wheel. Yeah, immediately
Yeah.
gonna just be a
This was the
easy
one,
pickup here.
This was the one with Rise of the Witch King
And
and a troll of
and
Khazad-dûm. Yeah.
Rangers. So it makes sense that if a card was going to wheel out of the pack, it was the lowest Pathfinder. I think we're playing this also up front, so I can hear faintly hear my voice in the pen, like in the back of the store.
So yeah, we are getting into the much maligned Simic deck, but we're not really like
We're
a
not-
scry.
I think that's good
deck,
though, because I think in team draft, you don't really want to be. You can't rely too heavily on like certain synergies unless it's very clearly open. But being more like a mid-range multicolor pile, I think leaves you open to pick up like removal spells and like powerful uncommons. So
Nothing really for us here. Maybe we're just taking the Wind Rider.
I mean, I think taking Go here is fine because you have two Pathfinders and the Halfling. Also, if you like pick up like a many pardons at some point in the draft, you could like easily play white.
Isn't it almost better to just take Willowwind here, though?
I honestly, I don't think so. I don't think you need a second one. And I think I would just.
You're giving up 1 power and vigilance for 1 less mana, but you also get to scry 2.
Yeah, I think you could also. I think taking Revive the Shire is not the worst idea here either.
Yeah, I don't hate that
No,
either,
it's
actually.
fine.
But yeah, I would probably do the same.
I would take. I think Leechcraft here. Just
Yeah.
I don't think he's really picked up a lot of removal spells yet.
No,
so.
it's a totally respectable.
Yeah,
blue
just to have a
interaction
little,
spell.
little
Yeah.
protection. Here,
Probably just like a shower of arrows for the sideboard.
I might just hate the Soldier of the Grey Host, honestly, if the person's here writes in
Sure.
white.
Yeah.
Because I don't think you're playing any of these cards main deck.
Soldier.
Because he passed the Arwen, we're not doing scry things.
No.
And we shouldn't at this point.
No, definitely.
But like maybe I could see hating Shortcut because there's like a really good green white food deck in the table.
I mean,
Yeah,
if such a
yes.
thing exists, you know.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of that pick.
Arwen does come back.
All right, well, maybe we end up doing that sort of route.
I think Arwen, even if you don't have a ton of, if you don't have a ton of scry synergies, it can still just be like a very powerful.
There's enough
like,
inherent
threat.
scry in the format, and it's a good mana sink to have, especially with double Woes Pathfinder.
I might just take this Watcher here, honestly.
If he needs the 2 drop,
I think if you do get into
he's enough.
scrying, then it's a good enough payoff that you're not going to miss the Farsight.
I think he has enough creatures where I think the Farsight's actually fine, but we'll see.
I just don't think it's, it's like a 24th card in most scenarios.
I think he took.
Whereas the Watcher is a threat that needs to be dealt with sometimes.
Sure. I think he ended up taking the Farsight.
Yes.
Okay, pack 3. Oh wait, no, this is deck. These are his picks. So.
Trevor likes
Just-
to review
Yeah,
a little bit before.
keeping the pack separate too to kind of just to show us what was picked in pack 1 and 2. Again, I mean, he's like blue-green, but I don't think he's. I think it's fine to have like inherent scry in the deck, but I wouldn't rely too much on like the scry themes. But thankfully the Arwen did come back, so
Not hugely surprising.
no.
He's clearly the only person at the table who's interested in.
It was very, very open.
Yeah. Or it was going to the right anyway. Good chance we won't see as much of it. Trevor still has yet to crack
Look
pack
at-
3 here.
Yeah. I think he cracked it and he's just double looking through all of his stuff again.
Just wants to get a really good idea of what his curve and colors look like here.
The suspense is killing me. Okay.
What are we hoping for here? Gladriel or
I mean, any like good bomby creature I think would be fine. Amir's not it. Alright, let's do the Conies.
Stu the Conies is definitely a nice pickup. There's a claim. Okay.
I was thinking about the Oath of the Great Host until I saw the Stu the Conies.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, he has like no removal spells, so there's the lowest Pathfinder again. Lorien Revealed.
Ooh. There's also an AON.
Yeah. Someone's gonna get hooked up with red white this draft, that's all I'm saying. I mean, I think the correct pick for your deck is the
Lorien Revealed.
Yes,
For
Lorien.
sure.
But the pick,
Man, that's tough,
the
though.
team draft hate pick, I think, is the AON.
Surprised to see it come here too, since he passed some solid Boros
So
cards to the
here's the
right.
question: Can we cast the AON with an envelope and
With two
double Pathfinders? And
Pathfinders?
there's one in this pack too.
No, I don't. I
risky.
think I disagree.
That's very risky.
I think I disagree.
With Faramir, that's definitely splashable. I mean,
I don't think Faramir is a super exciting splash for this deck, to be honest.
I mean, I think Faramir is a fair hate pick too.
I guess.
I think it's one of those cards where, like, I think if it can kind of get the ball rolling, it's pretty powerful. But like, there's a land truffle. The Shire's like definitely a consideration too, I guess. But I definitely won games playing the Shire where I've gained like 30 life or something crazy. I think the best card in the pack is the Faramir, though.
I might argue for Sam's Desperate Rescue,
But
to
also,
be honest.
I can see the rescue, but also with like triple Pathfinder and an envelope, you can play whatever you want at this point. That's at least one pick.
That's one school of thought.
Yeah, but like for splashing cards, you usually want to have like, you know, a minimum of 3 sources, right? He already has 4. Like, all it takes is to pick up like mini Partyans or like another Pathfinder, and you're just set to do whatever you want. So I think that
You're also pretty set on 4 drops at this point, right? Faramir is just an off-color hill giant in a lot of cases, you know?
Yeah, I mean, it depends if you. I think the best cards in the pack are like the Landroval, the Faramir, and like, I mean, the Curate Uncle Patrol is pretty good too. I wouldn't fault taking Landroval or Faramir or just not playing them either. Looking at the Shire here.
I just don't think that that's going to be
I think
high enough
you
priority.
could definitely will that card. Unless someone's like exactly in Green White Food.
Which, you know, good for
Possible.
them. you know?
But I mean, with that paragraph came out around super late. All right, Landroval's gonna be the pick here.
Yeah, I don't hate that.
Not me either.
There's another Ent.
There's 2 Ents.
Well,
I would
there's
take
a Generous.
I would take the one that cycles, yes.
Prince Imrahil is also very powerful.
There's the upgrade the name of
But
the
we're
4
not-
mana 3/3 flyer that blinks things. The card's not bad either. But I think with the Rise of the Witch King and triple Blows Pathfinder, I think I'm inclined to just take the 5/7.
Absolutely. I think it might even just be the best card in the pack there, too.
Like it definitely, like, the end definitely feels like one of the better cards in like team draft too. It's like it's so hard to get around that body sometimes.
Little life gain tacked on as well.
Definitely is a card that's like when you're in the green deck, like, this is like the card that stabilizes you against aggro decks.
It's also one of the few things that actually blocks flyers in this format.
I mean, I think it's respectable to take this with Savior here too. He already has. He has a 4/5 end. Yeah, I'm trying. Let's look at like what ETB of the creatures he has. He has a Rangers, Scry, Ring Tempt, Food. And I don't know if he'll play the Fell Beast. I don't think so at this point, but I think this is all a consideration to hear. But like, the problem is if you take that card, you're not getting anything else back in this pack. I don't think so. It's tough. I mean, you already have both of those cards. Maybe like this is just a little better to have more of a unique effect.
Wow. Okay.
I think I can see why.
The Watcher in the Water, another mythic rare here.
Yeah.
In our colors.
That one's not getting cast as team draft, I think.
Ooh, a troll. Yes, I love that. I would be slamming that one.
Again, kind of like what I said earlier. You already have enough sources, and it fixes for your Rise of the Witch King. It's like the perfect combo with that card. It gets you your black mana for that card. I think, definitely slam the troll here. He's like the perfect card you want for your deck.
We already know there's another, I don't know if the Watchdogs is actually being seriously considered here, but we already know there's another one making its way around the table.
True. I mean, is the consideration you need a 2-drop in your deck? But I think you just slam troll.
There we go.
All right.
There he goes.
Glad they
Never
came
any
to the
doubt.
same. Ooh,
See, I look at that and I go,
what the?
I look at that and go, meh, a quick beam. Oh my gosh, I definitely would have taken
No troll.
Troll 2 there.
Yeah, that's fine.
Quick beam, I think, is a fairly replaceable 6-drop.
Sure. I think he has a bunch of tree folk at this point too.
Yeah, but
I like the Bombadil song there.
I do actually really like Bombadil's song. There's another one. There's a Nasty End.
I don't know if I hate the era the house is Healing House.
We already have so many mana dorks, though, you know?
No, we do. I don't know if it'll make the deck, but I don't think I take anything else in that pack, really.
No, I'd consider a Nasty End, I think.
Yeah.
And the Shire comes back. I think we're okay with taking that here.
I think we're Shiring here.
Over like a Leechcraft number 2.
Also, like the Peregrines in this draft that went around that he didn't get back that he passed.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, Shire plus Peregrines is a pretty good combo, I guess. I think the Shire has, like, the upside about that card is, like, if you slam, like, all these ends and your opponent can't get through them,
you just start gaining 3 every turn.
Every turn. I definitely won some very close games in this format to doing exactly just that.
Yep.
But I wonder if he's considering taking like these Watchdogs instead or Leechcraft to have more removal, but
I think the plan is to just play Mana Dorks on turn 1 and 2 and curve out into a 4-drop.
I would not have taken Rockets there, but I'm glad this Hewar at least came back. I would definitely have taken the Shire.
Yeah, it seems like we're doing good on playables, and Shire is just a straight upgrade to a forest.
Yeah, it's free. It's free.
Probably just Watchdogs here now.
I think so, unless you just want to like snag the Lost to Legend that you like, because you're passing a lot of white there.
Take some interaction away from a white opponent, yeah. Okay, that was Elvish Farsight, right?
Yeah, I don't think you need that. We're not like all in on the blue-green scry deck by any means, so I don't think you need it. Yeah.
Yeah, Captain number 2, I guess.
Unless you're the person to your left is in green-white,
I think we're fine with letting them play those.
Take a watch. What? Third one. All right.
I still don't think we are. I don't think he's in scry mode, right? So I don't think those Watchers will end up being played unless he feels like he just needs 2 drops. But yeah, very interesting draft from Trevor's perspective there. Definitely some really tough choices that I think he navigated pretty well overall.
Overall, I think he's in the right deck for his seat. Definitely some choices I would have made differently, but he still has a lot of very powerful cards in his deck.